Hello, good morning, Happy New Year. I actually woke up this morning before I did my meditation. I got a huge download on what to share for the energy forecast. Everything is written out. So I'm going to be glancing at my laptop a little bit just to make sure that I'm capturing all the points. This is going to be a longer video, so cozy up. My guess is somewhere between at least 10 and 12 minutes. There's going to be about 6 yearly overarching themes. That doesn't mean they're the only themes. It just means the themes that got dialed through me. And then there's going to be a 7th message that has to do more with the next couple of weeks. So just diving right in. I'm going to go into the yearly first. So let me just scroll back up here. I just lost my... Okay, so we are going to see more energy healing this year, more mainstreaming of energy healing. I'm already feeling and experiencing the expansion of how I use my voice and how I'm going to be using more sounds and more instruments. There are other ways that energy can heal, and we are going to be naturally transitioning to this. It could be healing through art, it could be healing through sound, or it could be healing through nature, etc. Sensing that this is not something that we are going to have to learn, but rather as you naturally cultivate moments of stillness, you will awaken into the stimulus in your environment. So it's more like you cultivate the stillness within you, and then you are more aware of the activations around you. So that was the first point. More energy healing, and really it's not being manufactured from your environment, but the stillness you create from within manufactures the environment and makes you more aware of the activations happening around you. Point number 2. I am also feeling a lot of connection this year in relationships. I don't normally do any forecasting or talking about relationships or romance. It just doesn't usually come into my forecast. But this did this time. This is what I heard. I don't know where this is coming from because this is new information for me and the bandwidth of what I normally cover. But I feel that there will be reconnection happening for lots of people. Maybe when in relationships where there's been some gaps or delays in the relationship or misunderstandings. I honestly feel this has more to do with gaps and delays. That's what I was hearing, more like gaps and delays than the misunderstanding part. They were just saying a lot about divine timing. Divine timing is finally in coherence with the energy available to hold the space for those connections. That was it. So take that with a grain of salt. And it's not like we're investing our energy in that and our focus on that. Just continue to cultivate the energy from within, receive your activations, and it's going to come full circle. You'll understand by the time I get to the end of the forecast how that reconnects in with relationships. Okay. Number 3, I also feel like I want to just give a little disclaimer here that I'm not treating or diagnosing. I'm not giving any medical advice whatsoever. I do feel there's going to be more, like they were saying, miracle type healing this year, where either if there's like a chronic health condition or acute condition developing, there's going to be more and more cases either like intangibly, like not in your reality, like maybe you hear about it in somebody else's reality, like reading through like local news stories or just like hearing through word of mouth. There will be a reason why these healings are happening, but I do feel that we're going to see more information out there connected to healing. In other words, I feel like we are beginning to turn that corner in our world where people are taking more care of their bodies in non-traditional ways. That's going to be more mainstream than ever this year. I also feel there's a lot of people like myself who are doing work quietly or in groups to stabilize and anchor the light. Meaning, like when I have energy healing, energy work sessions, or I do meditation, or I do my own energy work, that is sort of like contributing to the pot, right? Of building this new structure of coherence where we can tap, and get into this in just a minute, tap into this structure as we move into a new earth. And those of us that are either receiving the activations from practitioners working with us or just doing that actively on our own through our own work are anchoring in the light coming in. So now that the light, okay, so let me just go back to this. So those of us that are doing the work to stabilize and anchor, we're doing the work to stabilize and anchor the light. And now that light will be, when it's streaming in at a higher capability, it will be able, we'll be able to work with it because it's been anchoring in. Okay, so that, I think that was number 3. And by anchoring in, that's just to come back to the body, like that is going to provide like miraculous transformation. And that doesn't need to be physical. By the way, I'm also hearing that could be non-physical, like emotional repair, or like there's mental health challenges that could help with that. I'm not treating and diagnosing, and I'm not giving medical advice. This is just energy that I'm sharing right now. Okay, so there's a lot of big themes of healing this year. We're still doing a lot of that. I think I'm on point number 4. I also do feel there will be still continued periods of friction. I don't feel any doom and gloom kind of things, but I do feel that we as a species, we're still evolving, and there are things that we are going to need to purge individually and collectively to allow the ascension of our planet to continue. I just feel an important message to share that everything will be okay. But it is important for each of us to stay on our own course. So do your own work and do not feel that you are responsible for the things that are happening outside of yourself. You are responsible for the things happening inside of yourself. And when you take care of the things inside, it will help in the reality of the world outside for you. And when you are in, that will shift for you and your energy, and when you upgrade, it also takes effect on your loved ones and your community, etc., etc. So it's important to focus on self more than ever this year. That will ripple out. Okay, so I think that was point number 4. We're coming in to 5. Stick with me. We're almost there. I feel like when my guides are sharing these when they were sharing these updates, they were saying to me just a little while ago this morning, like you, meaning you humans, like you always want to know about money. You always want to know about money. And that's always like, it's like we always want to know about money in the future. And it's funny, they were kind of laughing when they were sharing this. It's funny because they're adding in this information because they know that we ask about this when we want to know about the future and the year ahead. The message behind this, it's not important. And I really saw them laughing a lot because they were saying we base a lot of our security off of money, and we don't base any security off of our energy. And this is really the currency of the future. So if you want, they were just saying this like 3 times over and over. So if you want what they're saying, okay, I wrote this, like I did this dictation, so I just kind of tried to rechannel this because I think I got lost in the channel. Okay, so I was saying, like, if you really want money, invest in your energy. You know how people invest in the stock market or they invest in their home, invest in your energy. Money, I'm here. That's all. Oh, that's all they were saying. It's just if you are interested in the theme of money, invest in your energy. That's all. They kind of shut that down. They said that also like with money and that type of mentality, it's always ebbing and flowing. It's always in and out, and it's always coming in. It's always going out. So that's just keep that in mind, because there'll be times where you're a tiny bit more in scarcity, a tiny bit more in savings, and this year's no different. However, there is an opportunity more than ever to calibrate and unify your energy and your energy field so that this is the way to go. I wish I had more information on this. This is all I'm hearing right now. The channel was coming through very fast this morning, so I was dictating and then turning it into writing. I just want to wrap this. I think this is the 5th point up. When it comes to money, invest in your energy. When you're investing in your energy, that they're just saying that is the way to go. Money is going to continue to ebb and flow, and this year's no different. But this is a year more than ever to calibrate and unify in your energy. All right, let's get to point number 6. This is the final, not the final, but for this particular day and time share, this is a final message about looking ahead at the year. And remember, they only give me information to share as much as you can handle, or to the audience that I'm speaking to. So if you look elsewhere and get other updates, amen, awesome. That's what you need to hear from somebody else. Point number 6. This is going to be, there's going to be more and more separation between the old earth and the new earth this year. To simplify this topic, the old earth represents fear, scarcity, stagnancy, avoidance, disconnect from source, disconnect from intuition. There's a lot more that they're saying that we could say about the old earth, but these are the main things to keep in mind. The new earth represents freedom, abundance, telepathic connection, energy, intuition, healing, and love. Again, there's more we could say on this, but it's not the overarching theme right now in the message. It's more an understanding there's going to be more diversion between the old earth and the new earth. And choices will have to be made, which direction you choose, because the diversion is going to be more obvious than ever this year. And not everyone that you care for will be in alignment with the direction that you choose. And this may have an effect on your inner circle. So I kind of coming back to that second point that I was reading off of about reconnection, when there's like, for those in relationships where there's been maybe some gaps or time lapses or disconnect, I'm sensing that might have something to do with some of the reconnect that's happening this year and some relationships with people. So those people coming back into your timeline, your life, because you will be more in alignment with the path that you're choosing. Okay, and it could go the other way. There could be also some people in your inner circle that you've been very, very close with, and all of a sudden those connections are just kind of fading, fizzling out. No big fights or anything of that nature. They just may just slowly fade out. Okay, final update. This is just kind of like my usual update that I give every 2 weeks. This is just going to be a shorter little update now, because we've already given a lot of updates. And over the next 2 weeks, we are still integrating from stillness, and we are not wholly in action, but you can certainly take action, as long as it's relevant to the energy that you have for it, right? There will be a lot more action coming next month. So they were just saying, be ready, have your home in order, have your space in order. If you have debt to reconcile or regular bills, just make sure that you have them in order. Just have a plan, okay? Because your energy is going to be moving faster and faster as we move further into the month and the next month, and as we move further into the quarter and the year. Everything's just going to keep moving faster. They still said you will still have more time to organize beyond this month, but this is the easiest month of the year to get organized. I'm hearing not to feel rushed right now, okay? Because I know when you hear, oh, this is the easiest time, I got to get it all in. No, because rushing desensitizes our energy. And the point is not to get things done. The point is to feel, this is really important, to feel and create the shifts in your reality. For example, if you are organizing a space in your home, feel in your body what is happening as you are moving things. Maybe you feel a little rush of excitement, or maybe you feel possibilities opening and you releasing things. And when you release things from your environment that you no longer need, you also feel that release in your body. So if you start to look at your space and just minimize it by taking things and deciding to throw a bunch of things away because you just can't deal with it, you're missing the point. Take your time. Slow is better. So organizing is not, and they're saying this 3 times, organizing is not about quantity. Organizing is not about quantity. Organizing is not about quantity. Once you really feel these feelings as you organize, you will be inspired and motivated to do this on a regular basis. So it will become sustainable. So this month is more about planting a seed, about reframing how you declutter and organize. There's going to be a rush. Rush is an interesting word that they're using. I wrote that. Of information coming in later, not now. So the way that you organize this month, that planting of the seed, is going to help improve the circuitry in your body so that you can handle the light and the information coming in. I'm going to say that a couple times. That's important. So the way that you organize this month is going to help improve the circuitry in your body so that you can handle the light and the information coming in. The way that you organize this month will help improve the circuitry in your body so that you can handle the light and information coming in. I believe this is that they're referring to February. There's a lot coming in February, and I alluded to that in the write-up for this update. I'm not going to talk about February right now. It is mid-February-ish on is going to be huge, not just huge for the collective, but huge for those of us in Chicago. I don't do a lot of astrology, but there's some really, really important, I'm just being pushed away from that, not now. But this is preparation. They said this is a complete transmission for now. There'll be more information coming in 2 weeks. Just a reminder that there is a flyer below for the next sound bath on January 25th from 2 to 3:30. I think there'll be like 7 to 8 spots open. The link is open now. You are welcome to join and bring your own mug, or I will have some travel mugs available, and I hope to see you there. Have a great start to your month.